Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 22, or Episode 81 in total. I don't need to go over what happened last episode. You know what happened. The rumbling has activated. Eren has sent, his declaration of war, essentially, to the rest of the world. He's informed all of the subjects of Ymir what is going on, and that he intends to just wipe out anyone who isn't a subject of Ymir, basically. I really don't know where we go from here, what this episode will entail. Maybe just recouping everyone, coming up with a plan of action now, trying to get everyone together. I think at this point everyone's going to team up now, so all of the Marlians, maybe not the Jaegerists, but Armin and Mikasa might team up with some of the Marlians at this point. Put some of their differences aside because there's this greater threat. So before we get into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find full-length timer-based reactions where you can just sync up your own footage if there's anything I cut out of the YouTube edit. And you can also find polls so you can vote on upcoming shows and movies for reactions. So yeah, let's just jump straight into Attack on Titan. Straight up cold open. I was kind of expecting that. I'm wondering if we're actually going to get an intro this time. I really want to see the front of Eren's new form as well. We only got to see the ribs, but we didn't see the rest of it. Oh yeah, I want to see Falco's new form as well as the jaw. Will he be kind of more Ymir-like, where it's more human-y, or will he be more like Porco, where it's got some armor almost? 4? Okay. Oh, is Annie thawing? I know she's not in ice, she's in a crystal, but is that kind of the idea, the metaphor there? Oh, that's Reiner. Yeah, he's going to be out of action for a bit. Yeah, I guess so. Reiner's really struggling here. Yeah, how many characters have died from the wall falling, We saw Flock, he was falling away, but I don't think they'd just kill him like that. I think it'd be more obvious if he died. Just get out of here, yeah. Well, will the people of Mali know? Because the Eldians, I don't think those Eldians, they can all keep that a secret that they heard Eren. Yeah, how can they even fight back if he can control them? I guess they probably are actually safest here. Gabby's taking action. Oh, looking in the mirror, this is just like Tatakai when he's looking in the mirror. It's very directly a comparison to Eren there. Eren and Gabby, they've always had a lot of similarities. Okay, so they have captured Falco and keeping his mouth closed so he can't bite himself or something. But it's almost proving them right that their fear, Yeah, just straight up saying it is, it's just a genocide of everyone. But even if he succeeds in protecting them, how does he think it will go? Oh yeah, 'cause they're just on the loose. He probably isn't even thinking about that, is he?
巨人化させられた誰かに食わせれば一人救える。
Oh, save someone. Yeah, Pixis or Nile.
我が子村の母ちゃんに食わせる。いいな。
Yeah, we're giving it to my mum. Yeah. Is his mum even still there? I guess they never killed her.
ダイナーや車力の巨人と新たな争いを生むことになる。もうマーレが滅ぶのなら、
俺がどう思ってあの母ちゃんがいる村に帰り続けたか。
He's been back multiple times.
母ちゃん生き返らせるの止めんなよ。
I keep trying to see if these titans are people I know. You know, like, are we seeing a Pixis or are we seeing Nile or any of the other characters that had swallowed it? This reminds me all the way back of the first battle of Shiganshina.
乱した巨人。
When all those titans were surrounding that building and they were trying to get the gas.
ないの。
Yeah, Yelena's realizing that Zeke hasn't worked out Zeke's plan. It has been a long time since we've seen just like pure titans attacking people, you know? Oh, can Gabby save them? Ooh. It's got to be Gabby. Gabby's the only one in this situation who should be the one to save her. Is that Nile? She's asking Sasha for help. Yeah, no, that was the anti-Tyson. Yeah. Oh, straight in his mouth. She looks like she looks like Sasha at that point.
またファルコを助けに来た。
ベンのことか。武器は一体なんだ。その子がやったのか。あれから侵入したがちか。
Oh, they know her. They all need to work together at this point. There's no point.
厩舎で一緒に暮らす家族です。カヤ。
Yeah, Kaya's helping her out now.
とマレヘホレなんで。この銃が使えました。
Yeah, that's a great that's a great excuse, Niccolo.
助けてよ兵士さん。ここたちを。
And she's just further seeing the humanity of the Eldians.
連れて逃げなさい。それまで私たちと一緒におとなしくしてるんよ。
So Connie has just kind of gone rogue a bit with Falco.
なんで私をかばったの。そっちこそなんで
Yeah.
私悪魔なんでしょ。
There are no devils.
違う。悪魔は私。それが私の悪魔。
そいつは俺の中にもいる。カヤの中にも、誰の中にも、みんなの中に悪魔がいるから。
Everyone's devils, okay, yeah.
巨人と対峙した際はただ腰を抜かしている。私についてこい。
It's great seeing him in action because we only ever see him training people. I don't think I've ever seen Keith actually like in action killing titans. Yeah, get into action. You know, it's great seeing this contrast about all of these like new scouts, aren't they? And then we've got our characters who are like the more veterans now, and then you compare this to like season 1 where our characters, they were very much like all of these ones. Oh, a great shot, that spinning shot. Another new song as well. Got lyrics, obviously not in English, I can't understand them. But I don't think we've had like a song that isn't just instrumental for ages. And we're getting some 3D maneuver gear scenery as well. It almost feels a bit nostalgic. You know, we haven't had any like 3D maneuver gear like Sakuga for like forever, I feel like. Maybe the bit where Mikasa runs in. Oh, Pixis. Yeah, they're gonna have to kill Pixis. Yeah, maybe that bit where Mikasa is introduced at the start of season 4, but like since like late season 3, maybe even early season 3, we haven't had any like really good 3D maneuver scenes. Yeah, they can't hesitate just because it's someone they know.
ここまで僕たちを導いてくれたのはゆっくりと
Mikasa, it's gotta be Mikasa, yeah. This action sequence was great. Loads of like great animation, great shots and composition as well.
だいぶ収まってきた。マーレ兵はほぼ全滅して。
I guess the flames are just the heat from the Titans, right? Because the colossal Titans, they can like give off heat.
そろそろ俺たちに例の白チュームの話をしてくれ。
Oh yeah, Onyokapon didn't actually see that.
が壁の崩壊で死にかけてる間。生きてたか。ああ、心配してくれてありがとう。
What's Flock's deal on this now?
エルディア帝国が復活するって瞬間なの。
So he's still on Aaron's side with this?
全員拘束する。なんだと。
もう争う気はないの。私はただファルコを返してほしいだけ。
Yeah, she just wants Falco to be safe.
ファルコは
They're gonna have to go on a rescue mission for Falco against Connie almost. Are they gonna be able to convince Connie?
お母さんを人に戻せるんじゃないの？始祖の巨人は何でもできるはずでしょ。
Yeah, but I don't think that'll be Aaron's priority.
エレンはここでジークに巨人にされた兵士たちを人に戻してたと思う。
Yeah.
頼んでみてよ。エライナーの鎧なんて剥がしたんだからできるはずなのに。
Oh, he stripped Reiner's armor.
鎧の巨人の硬質化が解かれたのはいつどのタイミングで
Oh, was it when the walls came down?
全ての硬質化が解かれるって。
Annie poured out. Finally seeing her after all this time. And she is kind of aware of what's happening because Armin has been kind of keeping her up to date a bit, I guess. The return of Annie after all of this time as well. It's been, 3 seasons without her. And now she's probably going to be on our side instead of a villain. She's going to be a hero, perhaps, or like, not exactly a villain, hero and villain is a very loose term in this show now, but she's going to be helping against Eren. Okay, so another great episode. I think we actually got quite a lot of content in this episode. I mean, they needed to kind of set up where the story was going next because we had so much build up for the rumbling. Now that it's actually happened, it's like, where do we go from here? And now we kind of have a bit of an idea of what's happening. We have this kind of smaller conflict to go sort out with Connie and Falco because that's something I wasn't expecting, Connie to just go rogue, take Falco. But, we have had a bit of setup from that. A few episodes ago, we're seeing how Connie's kind of at the end of his rope and he was just lashing out at everyone. And then he finally has a chance to save his mother. Like, why wouldn't he? I don't think that's going to end up happening. I think Falco will be the Jaw Titan from now on. He's like too important of a character for him to actually just be sacrificed for Connie's mum like that. But it's Attack on Titan, you never know. I don't know if this will end up in like some physical conflict or if it will just be a chat that they have, a high stakes chat with Connie. But I think you could probably convince Connie that what Gabby was trying to do and convince him that Eren could turn her back, But I think we might be seeing that there is some limitation to Eren's power because, as Armin was saying, like, Eren should have been able to turn everyone back. Eren should have been able to stop them from attacking the Eldians, to stop the Pure Titans from attacking the Eldians. So I'm wondering, is that actually like a limitation of Eren's power, or is that Eren he's so focused on attacking that he's not worried about anything else? He's just focused on getting his revenge for Marley to the rest of the world. He's just focused on that solely. So that isn't even something like on his mind at the moment. He's like extremely powerful, but I don't think he's like omnipotent for everything that's happening all around him, And then there was also the bit where Reiner's hardening has been undone. So that was Eren just kind of blanket undid everyone's hardening. He didn't specify the Titans in the walls, he just undid everyone's hardening. So, you know, there might be some limitations to his power here, because he undid the hardening on the walls, but then also undid Annie's and Reiner's hardening as well. And now Annie is out. You know, I kind of got the impression that she'd be out soon. Just, you know, we start the episode off with her dad, and then the episode was called Thaw as well, like thawing out of ice. Of course, she's not actually in ice, she's in a crystal, but it makes sense with the metaphor, and it does look kind of ice-like. I'm just wondering what's going to happen with Annie now, because she has been kind of kept up to date a little bit from Armin, so she might know, you know, some of what's happening. We saw with the Warhammer Titan that they are conscious when they're in the crystal, or at least the Warhammer was, because she, you know, was still using her powers when she was crystallized. So I think Annie might be, you know, she can figure out what's happening, but I'm just wondering, you know, it lingered on her ring. Is her first instinct just going to be get out to above ground and transform? I don't know, like, what mindset she's in, what's going to be her motive here. You know, if she sees Reiner, if she somehow gets to Reiner can catch her up on everything and convince her to, like, join teams. It's just going to be weird having Annie back after so long, and then Annie kind of not exactly switching sides, but she's on our team now, you know? This episode was also really big for Gabby. We're getting a lot of parallels to other characters here, because we had some parallels to Eren, but then also parallels to Sasha as well. A lot of people have been saying, and rightly pointing out, that Eren and Gabby, they aren't that different, especially earlier versions of Gabby as well. They just wanted to kill their enemies, you know? And now Gabby is kind of coming to this realization of everything that was wrong and everything that she's done wrong. There's some great moments here where she's just kind of breaking down, and then there's this moment where she's like putting her hair up in the mirror, and it just reminds me of the scene with Eren where he's, you know, saying Tatakai, saying attack, and he's just like getting ready. You know, it's very similar to that scene. And then we see when she saves Kaya looks at her and sees Sasha, essentially. Well, she does see Sasha quite literally. She like has a vision of Gabby as Sasha, because Kaya was saved by Sasha all of them years ago as well, wasn't she? So I mean, you know, Kaya was the person who Gabby needed to prove herself to the most, and she's done that now. A lot of parallels between Sasha and Gabby, you know, sharpshooters. They do kind of have like a similar look as well. Like, Gabby looks like she could be like a really young version of Sasha a bit, you know. It's almost like Gabby is making this transition from being like Eren to becoming like Sasha, you know. Then we also got a few casualties this episode, Pixis and Niall. I'm pretty sure it was Niall who was the one who was attacking Kaya, who Gabby took out. I'm surprised there wasn't like a scene when Gabby realised who it was, because she has seen him before when he saved Falco. So I thought that might have been something, there might have been a moment there where she realises, but we didn't get that. It's fine either way. And then of course Pixis, we had a good kind of send off for him, as good as the send off it can be, with him just being like a pure Titan, you know. And in this episode, it was almost like nostalgic seeing all of these pure Titans when they were going up to that fort. It just reminded me of season 1, you know, when Eren had just transformed for the first time and they were using him as a kind of rogue Titan to help get into this fort, and just all the things around that. We were seeing all of these younger scouts this episode, and it just reminded me so much of when Sasha and Connie and Jean and everyone, they were like young scouts on that first mission that went so wrong, you know. And then we also had, you know, the 3D maneuver gear back in action again. Some great Sakuga with that. Some great animation this episode. And some great shots and compositions. There was this shot, didn't linger on it long, but it was Mikasa had just sliced a Titan and there was just like blood flying in the air. That shot was gorgeous. I think I might make that my thumbnail. Yeah, that whole sequence was just really great, that whole action sequence. And then it seems next episode, they've got to tie up what's happening with Annie here. So who's she going to run into first? Will she run into Reiner? Will she run into... It seems Armin, Mikasa, Gabby are going to be going after Connie. I don't know how that's going to turn out. There's just so many spinning plates. Of course, the rumbling has just caused all of this chaos. So we have this real sense of chaos with everything that's happening now. All the stuff with Connie, all the stuff with Yelena and Flock as well. Flock is now throwing things into chaos as well. He's still on Eren's side, still agreeing with everything Eren is doing. I do wonder if Flock knew all along that Eren's plan was to start the rumbling. I think that could be the case, because we've seen he's been quite devious and withheld information a lot before, you know? And then one last thing, Keith Shaddis. It was just great seeing him in action, because we haven't seen him in action at all. We've only seen him training the soldiers. So it was just a great moment to see him come in and protect all of these new scouts, some of the ones that have betrayed him before, because we had that scene when they were recruiting the Jaegerists where they all beat him up, and he comes back and, you know, he doesn't hold any bad blood against them. He kind of knew why they were doing it. It was for their own protection and their own greater good. So he doesn't hold any bad blood against them, and he just comes back and saves the day. That was a great moment for him. So I think that's everything I have to say. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all of the future episodes. I'll release these, you know, the day they come out, essentially. So if you're interested, be sure to subscribe and you can keep up to date with all of the future Attack on Titan reactions. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.